Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stunner, with another episode of VSW. Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stunner, alongside
with this sir, both here
with another exciting episode of VSW. And tonight we are talking Limitless Wrestling, the games we play.
And no, it's not on a Nintendo console. It's on an IWTV streaming service.
It certainly is, Disabled. And, you know, I've been excited for this event since they announced the main event. I mean, once they announced that main event, I was sold on this. And, you know, it delivered in every way possible. We'll go through all the matches, tell you who won, you know, show you some of these highlights that happened. It was, like I said, a phenomenal pay-per-view.
Absolutely. It set seeds for not only the future of Limitless, for when they get fans back in Yarmouth, hopefully in the near future.
Oh, for sure. It for surely does. Plus, you know, it just blends right back into the road. You know, I did my preview show of that coming out tomorrow, earlier today. You know, a lot of exciting matches and more continuations of things that come. But let's start off with the opening match that opened this, and it was an actual VSW podcast-sponsored match.
Absolutely. It was the singles match between the Prize OG, Alec Price, versus Ken Broadway.
You know, first of all, as you all know, I am a huge Alec Price fan. He is the future of pro wrestling. Wherever he goes, no matter what promotion he's in, no matter what he does, he just goes out and does phenomenal job.
I love his elementary school kid energy that he puts into his entrances and the ring.
Oh, the energy that he brings to the ring, I don't think nobody can match right now. You know, that I love his theme song. I've been actually trying to find a way to get a hold of it. I want to make a montage of videos like I did with Garcia. But yeah, anyways, you know, great wrestler. This was a great opening bout with this energy. You know, you had Ken in there, tremendous you know, wrestler, and I think he has something to prove here at Limitless.
Absolutely, I do, because Alec Price is so sick of being overlooked from competing and winning the Vacation Land Cup. He is so sick of being overlooked. He wants to be higher up in the card, and he proved it in the opening match when he beat Ken Broadway.
He really did, you know. He really did. He brought the smoke. You know, I don't think Ken Broadway was expecting that. I really don't. You know, I think going into it, Ken was looking at it like an easy win, and you can never, ever sleep on Alec Price. Keep the eyes on the prize, because the kid's going places, you know. And like I said, I just can't wait to see what the future holds for him as he moves up the ranks, you know, on the road and everywhere. You know, I remember seeing him at the dojo and in other promotions and other places all over the place, really coming together right now. And like I said, this was a great opening match. It really set the tone for the night. And, you know, kudos to Alec Price for getting that victory. I think it was a big one. I'm pretty sure he does too. Well, let's move on now here, shall we, Disabled Wolf?
Absolutely. The next match was Rip Bison versus Robert Martyr.
Rip. You know, I'm a huge Ripper fan too. You know, and a Martyr fan. This was what I would call a wrestling match. Both of these guys, to me, remind me of what wrestlers are, or what they're supposed to be. You know, two guys, you know, going out to destroy each other. And that's what it was back in the day. And, that's kind of what these two bring back to the ring. I always compare, Rip Bison to, like, someone of Demolition or someone of that nature, maybe Legion of Doom. He's just a powerhouse of destruction. Marta, though, I've really started to pay attention as, he's been picking up wins and really just proving himself in Limitless Wrestling. A great, talented wrestler, really shining right now out there on the scene. What did you think of this match?
I thought it was a really great match. It was a very hard-hitting match, and they were beating the hell out of each other with all the suplexes and slams that Bison did. He did come away with the win, the Ripper. And the post-game match, you would think that he was about to turn heel when he got Mother up and put him near the rope, but in reality, he was just taking him up, making sure he was okay. We all thought he was going to turn heel there.
Nah, not me. You know what? I know a little bit about Rip. I've met him a few times. I've seen him around different promotions, even in Limitless. I'm going to tell you one thing about him. He might destroy you, but when that bell ends, he's nothing but a gentleman. You know that. He really is. And, he's a man's man and a wrestler's wrestler. And he did pick up this victory. This was another great matchup that Limitless put on. Every match that they put on this card just was a banger, in my opinion. It was just like, boom, one after another, right to the main event. It was just a very exciting night of wrestling.
Absolutely. And then, are you ready to move on, Versace?
I sure am.
All right, next match was a tag team match between Ava Everett and Charles Manson versus this newly formed Scrunchy Squad of Becca and Davey Ann.
This match has been coming for, for a while. I talked about it on my preview show, as everybody, knows, on the road this week. It is going to be Ava Everett versus Daviana, 2 out of 3 falls match. But this tag team match really set that up, I think, even more in motion. Yes, you had the newly formed Scrunchy Squad. Becca, tremendous wrestler, She, was able to get Davian into the Scrunchy Squad at their last show. If you remember, when Becca had the mystery partner against the Sea Stars. Another VSW sponsored match. But Becca picked up Davey and then, and they did what they had to do then. And coming, now into this match, now you had the beef with Davey and you had the beef with Becca and Ava. There's a lot of bad blood between the three of them, I believe.
Especially Ava and Davey Ann, that's been taking place since the second season of The Road when newly WWE recruit Anthony Green, now known as August Gray, moved to Florida. Ava went there too. She came back. She snapped on Davey Ann, causing all this feud.
Oh, she came back with an attitude and a half, causing nothing but chaos in Limitless, between her and Davey Ann. Then her attacks on Doug. Doug did put her in her place, though.
Got his first win in Limitless.
He did, and he's been on a roll ever since. So, that is very lucky.
Some could say Davey Ann helped them win.
They really, they really did. But, Ava ever picked a very good opponent.
Of a teammate, Charles
Mason. He's just a sadistic individual that likes to cause pain. People. He likes to cause pain, misery, suffering. You couldn't have picked a better person. Really.
They have great chemistry together, Ava Everett and him.
Really do.
Both have mental health issues, as it's showing in the...
Oh, yeah.
In their characters.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, the witch is just something else. like I said, she better be ready for Davey Ann this week. But why don't you let them know what happened at this matchup?
In this matchup, so after Ava Everett defeated Davey Ann and Becca and Davey Ann kind of threw their alliances away when Davey Ann threw the scrunchie to the ground. And in the post-game match...
Very disrespectful, I might add, to the Scrunchie Squad, to the leader of the Scrunchie Squad, Becca. I mean, you know, I'm sorry, Davey Ann, I am a fan, but, you know, Becca already kicked you in the face once. I think you're looking for it again. I don't know. I wouldn't have thrown the scrunchie down. That's just me. But, you know, you do you. And, you know, I think you're going to take care of Ava Everett. But, you know, like I said, very disrespectful for Becca. Very disrespectful for the Scrunchie Squad and all its members. You know, I am disappointed in that. But, you know, speaking of, you know, I was speaking about the Sea Stars and that. You know, they did have the pre-show match on this card.
Absolutely. Don't forget, we interviewed Emmy Award-winning manager John Alba a day or two prior to the games we played.
We did, and, you know, he made a promise to us that one way or another, whether they would put, you know, his man, you know, Mac Daniels on, not on the pre-show, on the card. And if they did not do that, if, you know, Limitless Wrestling Randy Carver did not give in to those demands, that he, you know, would show up and, you know, one way or another be on that card. I think John Alba, you know, made very good on that promise. You know, we saw a great opening, you know, match on the pre-show.
Very good? You call that very good? That was amazing. A newly formed wrecking ball to come in New England.
Oh, it is. But, I mean, you have two classic teams. You got the Prestige, BRG, and Channing Thomas, you know, going against the Sea Stars.
Ashley Vox and Domi XO.
You know, two of the greatest tag teams in New England office right now, going at each other on a pre-show.
Which surprised me how low on the card it was, but I guess it made sense to tell a story.
Well, you know, I think the Prestige, I was a little surprised to be on the pre-show, too. And
now,
you know,
John Alba says you're never going to see that again.
Nope, as you let them know, you know, you saw what happened there, how that match ended. You know.
If Mac Daniels coming in, hitting a steel chair to both Domi XO and Ashley Vox right after the match.
Right after, you know, it was the Sea Stars, you know,
they did win the match, the Sea Stars.
They did win the match, but they definitely lost the war. I was just going to say, you know, I couldn't say it better myself.
Two minds think alike for Sachi.
They do. And, you know, with John Alba kind of running this with Mac Daniels, you know, and the Prestige, he said something about being prestigious. You know, that's quite a stable that's going to make waves in Limitless Wrestling. I would just watch out roster. I mean, I think anybody's a target for this group. And, you know, behind the mind of Alba, this could be very, very, you know, dangerous.
Absolutely. And if they ever introduce a trio titles or tag team titles in the future, I think the Prestige could be the first champs.
They could. I mean, there's a lot of... They very well could be. I mean, there is a lot of competition out there.
Unintended Versace?
Maybe. And you also, you know, you have a lot of other tag teams, you know, like MSP, the main event, all these other teams, too, that are out there. But, yes, they are candidates. If they were to hold the tag tournament, I believe the Prestige would be up there. But let's get back onto the main card. I just wanted to mention that, you know, in case people don't know, there is a pre-show. You don't have to... I don't believe you have to be an IWTV subscriber to watch it. I believe it's free. I believe it's on YouTube.
No, we didn't forget that match. We placed it in the middle because it had a big part to the storyline in the future of Limitless.
Oh, it does. And, you know, it's going to really just, you know, like I said, as the weeks go on the road and as, you know, more events, we're going to see more of this story unfold with that trio. But back to the card now. What was the next match after that one?
Matt Mikowski versus Kevin Blackwood with Limitless champion Daniel Garcia at the helm.
Weapon X versus Blackwood. I mean, this was
That was a phenomenal match. Great submission specialist.
I might as well have just, I got a $60 UFC fight for the price
of the main events.
Of a main event for the price of this whole show on IWTV. That's how good this match was. This was, UFC title match caliber. Blackwood, Mikowski, they always deliver, and this was no different. I love that technical style that they bring. It's not something that you see every single day in wrestling anymore. You never saw it back in the day, that's for sure. Back in the day, maybe early 70s you saw that kind of style, but not with this fierceness. Then, you saw a lot of powerhousing, power moves, brawling. But now you're seeing this out of them, and it's great the way they bring it. The realism just...
And you had the promos of Blackwood and Garcia talking about their friendship, training in the martial arts studio in Buffalo.
I love them two together. I'm a huge Garcia fan, huge Blackwood fan. I am happy that he is the Limitless champion. He is defending it with great, great honor.
And you know what the funny thing is, Versace? I'm sorry to interrupt you with a joke. The two guys have more titles than the Bills and Sabres combined in Buffalo.
Shit. And that is the truth, though, I have to say. But, they're definitely making waves in New England, and especially in Limitless.
Even curls?
Yeah. Even curls. Yeah. But let me say, this match, I have to say, when I first looked at it on the card, it could have went either way. They're both top-notch stars. What'd you think about it, though? How'd you think about it?
I thought it was a really great match for Sachi because it was a very hard-hitting technical style with arm grappling and even a lot of headlocks. But at the end of the day, Mikowski got infuriated with Garcia being on the sideline, and you had Kevin Blackwood get a roll-up with his legs on the ropes to steal the victory.
I mean, yeah, you could call it stealing. I would say taking a victory. There's no stealing in this sport. And, you get a victory any which way you damn can. That's the name of the game. But, it was Kevin Blackwood taking it. Mikowski was definitely a little bit, unfocused there and focusing more on the champion. And maybe they'll play it down the line. Maybe we'll see, a Mikowski versus Daniel Garcia for the title.
That would be a 5-star match.
Anything with Garcia is a 5-star match. He makes 5-star matches. That's just what he does. And so does it Matt. So that would be, a great thing. This was, a great place in the card. It really kept the energy level going on the event. And it just did. I was, very impressed by this match and the magnitude and the energy that it brought. And like you said, that style that you don't see, that fierceness and hard-hitting, technical style. Ready to move on, though, now?
Absolutely. You got a singles match with, at the time of the tapings, IWT TV champion Lee Moriarty, Tiger versus Travis Huckabee. But before we get into this match, I want everyone, I know you'll watch IWTV for your Limitless needs up in Maine, but please, if you have a chance, check out Project Reality with Denver, Colorado, and Beyond Wrestling. Check out our recap after the match and watch the Wheeler Yuta versus Lee Moriarty match.
Yeah, if you watch any match, that's not Limitless, I would have to recommend that one. This was, they're very, very...
As long as the Shawn Michaels Bret Hart match in WrestleMania, the 60-minute Iron Man, that wasn't an Iron Man match, but my point is...
that's probably one of the only matches that I could even compare this to of how good it was, how close it was, and how, these two competitors just were neck and neck the whole time. You really didn't know which way it was going to go. Yuta finally did pick up that victory. He is the new IWTV champion. Congratulations for that, because he was well deserved in that match. It almost went the whole hour time limit. The move that these two people did on each other was just insane. And, let me just tell you, Lee Moriarty is one of the best in the world. He's only going places. And seeing him in Limitless on the games we play was great. And, Travis Huckabee, he's got himself...
Really good, too.
He's got himself a match with Love Duh. Tomorrow night. But, he was all business Friday night with Lee Moriarty.
And a high flyer versus a technician. How high up in the card, they're always booked well in Limitless.
They really are. You never know. They just match the styles good. They just always blend. You don't really have a mismatch. There's never a time you say, "Oh, these two guys should have never wrestled each other." Everything just is so smooth. Not to mention the visuals. Just the visuals, how it's filmed. Just everything, the promos. Everything that the whole Limitless family does to put these shows together is just, amazing. I just want to say, the production team and, the promo people, the people that take the photos, everybody, the people that does the history of Maine wrestling. There's a new Limitless book out that somebody had wrote. It's on Amazon. You can check it out. It's the history of Limitless wrestling. I've ordered my copy. I'm waiting for it. I suggest anybody that's a fan get it, buy it. It looks amazing. But yeah, this match here, though, I have to say, was probably one of my favorite of the night. I am definitely a Lee Moriarty fan. He brings this sort of that Tiger style energy that you don't see every day in wrestling. He makes it fun. And other one, like I said, he's going places. You're going to see him on national TV sometime soon. What did you think of this matchup on this one, though?
I really thought it was really good. I know Lee Moriarty came away with the victory, but you saw a lot of submissions he was kicking out of, such as Boston Crabs, grappling submissions. They don't call Huckabee the Golden Grappler for nothing.
No, he's such a tremendous grappler. One of the best of this day and age, if not the best that is out there right now. And the title wasn't on the line, but like you said, it was taped beforehand, but that is fine. Like I said, the title wasn't on the line, so even if Huckabee had won, he wouldn't have not been the IWTV champion. But hey, he gave one hell of a fight. Lee Moriarty put on a show. And, that's all I can say. That was just, another 5-star banger of a match. Keep it going. What was next?
What is next is the second to last match of the night. And it is an official VSW podcast sponsored match. It is a tag team match between the up-and-coming talent of the main event versus the face that runs the tag team place in the dojo, MSP.
As soon as I heard this match announced, I wanted it.
I know you just love tag team wrestling, Versace.
I do, but this was something special. The circus had arrived at Limitless, and it was something special, and they picked the biggest dogs on the block to go after, MSP. What more could you want out of tag team wrestling? Two big tag teams going at it. Unbelievable. It's everything that I grew up with, like Rockers, Demolition, Heart Foundation, the Bulldogs, and now you got MSP, the main event. I love this match from beginning to end. It was just high-flying, non-stop action. I know you might not be a tag team match fan as much as I am, but I know you do appreciate it.
Absolutely. How can I not appreciate it? No, the 80s and 90s has really good tag teams, but tag team wrestling has been rejuvenated in this era in the indie scene, leading up all the way to AEW.
It has, AEW does have a tremendous tag team division, obviously one of the best in the world, but that is not taking anything away from what New England's independent tag team scene looks like, because it is stacked on top of stacked. If you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. I'll just mention it tonight. We had Waves and Curls, everybody's favorite if you know them, that you have to love them. They got on AEW Dark, and they had a kick-ass show.
With the Varsity Blondes.
Yep, they put on a great match. They might have not picked up the victory tonight, but shit, they got the victory in my book. You're known. Everybody's going to know who they are after they watch that episode. They put themselves on the map once again. They're, like I said, one of the best tag teams in the world. And that's what New England has. That's what Limitless has. That's what Limitless brings. Every tag match, is like this. And that's what the main event and MSP brought to the table.
Absolutely. They brought a really good match with high-flying styles and pile drivers between both those guys.
Really did. MSP did get the victory. But I do believe that
main event had a great showing too.
They did, for them in their first match in Limitless, and they, like I said, you're going after the number one, no skin off of it. You know what I'm saying? They can only go up from here. They will. There's no doubt in my mind that they will easily recoup, dominate, and be right on top in no time in Limitless.
You got that right. It was a great match, and glad MSP took out the victory. It will keep their momentum going for a big feud down the line with competition. The newly formed Prestige with the addition of Mac Daniels. It is stacked for Sachi. I can't wait to see what the New England tag team has to in the future.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And what match do we have up next on this already?
It is the
card?
main event of the evening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get ready to rumble. The way it was hyped, this match was featured on even Sports Illustrated covering the New England indie scene with the Limitless defending champion Daniel Garcia.
Red Death.
Red Death, baby. Defending against the redneck himself, JD Drake.
Two tremendous athletes. I've become a real fan of Garcia over the years. More and more I watch, more and more I love.
He's really young, too.
He's young. He's good. He's everything you want as a champion right now in Limitless. He's fighting and defending, not afraid to back down. He's not in it for the glory. He's in it for wins. He wants wins, victories, maybe more titles. He's, a collector of those kinds of things. He even said it,
He doesn't care what NXT or AEW does. Garcia even said it in the promo.
And he did. He said, he's going to be here collecting victories and, collecting titles. And I believe every word he says. But he went up against a very fierce competitor, AEW superstar, JD Drake.
He didn't have his... Maybe he should be focused more on trying to win matches and his wrestling style than trying to be with pretty Peter Avalon.
Most likely,
Maybe he'll read some books with his inner librarian in him.
I tell you one thing, though. That man knows how to dress. If you've ever seen one of his shirts, they are top-notch. Me being the Versace stoner, have to take my hats off to that. Whatever you're wearing, brother, it is great. And, I watch you almost every time you're on TV. Whatever the promotion is. Huge Drake fan as well. I love the style that he brings to
I said, he doesn't need pretty Peter Avalon and Wish Ziggler himself, Ryan Nemeth.
He doesn't need anybody, honestly. He can do it all on his own. He definitely proved himself in this main event of how good of a wrestler he really is. He was neck and neck with the champion Garcia.
Absolutely. This feud all started after their last pay-per-view where after Garcia beat Lee Moriarty, he got into a fight with JD Drake sitting as a as one of the wrestlers being fans during the pandemic, got into a spitting contest and swore at him or everything, and this is what started this award-winning feud.
It really did, and that talk about, like, good storytelling. This is how it went, and people just ate it up. And, when I was watching it and it was announced, it felt to me like, I said the Blackwood felt like a UFC match. This one felt like a heavyweight boxing Mayweather fight. And it gave me that feeling from the get-go. I was very excited for it. I don't get excited for mainstream wrestling anymore. I don't get excited for WrestleMania. I went to WrestleMania this year with very little excitement,
The main events did deliver in that Mania, but everything
they did,
felt
but I
so
wasn't
right.
all hyped for it. Not like I've been hyped for these shows, that we've been seeing lately, out of Maine, out of Mass, out of wherever we go. These shows have been really hyping me, and these what really get me excited. When you show me a main event of like J.D. Drake versus Garcia, that's something to look forward to, And Garcia is great. He took the victory. He
tap out.
He did. He did it by submission, and that's not an easy feat, making J.D. Drake submit, but he's still the limitless champion. I don't know who's going to step up next to him. It could go many ways. You do have Mikowski. That would be a good match.
That would be a phenomenal match. They should build this up.
There's plenty of
Mikowski,
other people. Huckabee. There's a whole list of people that could go after this title.
Maybe if he gets his act together. Love Dick.
Him too. But I can tell you, whoever it is, Daniel Garcia will be ready and waiting. You cannot sleep on Red Death because he will take you out
and
with the flick of his wrist.
Backing him up too.
He's got Blackwood. He's got He's got his. He hasn't even with Blackwood, he's got his own skill.
He's got martial arts skills in him too.
He's
Garcia.
a deadly weapon in limitless wrestling. He's one of my favorite champions that they have had, and they've had some great champions, limitless. Starting with MJF, Anthony Green,
Christian Casanova.
And now we got Daniel Garcia. So, what a match. What a show to say. But if I have to say, the games we play, I'm so happy that we were able to be a part of this and help them with this and sponsor the matches.
Shame on all the other sponsors for not picking up most of the matches on the card.
Hey, you know what? People can do only what we can do to
help.
I
understand.
We're still in a pandemic. Everybody's recouping. Luckily, we are able to help. And, that's all that we can do. And I'm glad that we are able to. I'm glad that we're able to, help Limitless do whatever they need to do to put on shows, to keep entertaining us fans and everybody else across the country on IWTV.
Honestly, Versace, even when they go back to some normalcy and have fans, I'm fine if they do a road once in a while to lead up into their shows. It's going to help me learn the roster and so many newcomers that want to give indie wrestling a chance when the summer comes.
Oh, yeah. The road has been a great weekly episodic look forward to show. It's the perfect formula, in my opinion. You got 4 matches. You got 1 hour. You got some story in there. You got some promos in there. There's people talking. It's the total package. It's very well produced. It's produced better than a lot of weekly episodic shows. So I have to say, I really look forward to Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. on IWTV. Definitely do. That's all I can say about the road, and I hope it does continue. It's one of my favorite shows out there. I even remember when they did Pandemic in the Dojo. That was another great show. You can catch that on IWTV. You can go back, and then watch season 1, 2 of the
And
road.
I just found out, I haven't got a chance to watch yet, Versace, but they have a Limitless Dojo airing on IWTV. That's a brand new episode of this week that in Orono, Maine. I gotta check that out.
Oh, really? We'll have to maybe definitely check that out, as we didn't get to go to it. I know they're starting to do dojo shows. It's a little bit far for us. We will maybe one day get out there, but definitely when it gets back to Yarmouth, Maine, there, we will be going to shows there. I know that for a fact, and like I said, everything else we can catch hopefully on IWTV, because Limitless has been really one of the best promotions throughout this whole pandemic. I have to say thank you to the Limitless family.
Thank
you, Randy Carver. You have made wrestling great again. Thank you to everybody that's listening right now, that will be listening to this, and thank you to everybody that's part of that show. I have to say, like I said, it has made wrestling great again. It's given us something to look forward to, and it's given us, hope. We're almost out of this, folks. Pretty soon we'll be able to come back to shows live fully with fans. I'm hearing, as possibly as August. That is great.
Phenomenal.
So keep in touch with all the, local guidelines, news, and that about local shows, because, things will be coming up fast. And thank you, everybody, for listening to the VSW. Have yourself a great night. Versace Stoner out.
Disciple out.